Gervonta Davis looks to make his comeback in the ring in 2024, and he's revealed more details on his opponent and fighting in the UK. At first, it looked as though the country of Saudi Arabia was interested in having Gervonta make his comeback in their country, and they stated, "I want Davis, and I send a message now from you to Al Heyman. Let's do a job together, brother. Davis, of course, we want him in our country." Gervonta made it pretty clear that the offer would have to be astronomical if he was going to consider fighting there though, and he stated, "They made me mad. If they want me, they gotta send me something to my front door, like 2 Ferraris or something, like before I even think about going over there." A boxing page on X tried to spread the rumor that Gervonta would make his return to the ring in the US, as they stated, Gervonta's next fight will be in the USA and more than likely in Las Vegas. Gervonta quickly shut this down, and he had a few extra words for the page as he stated, "Lol, you think you have the answer, but you don't. You need to stay in your place and be a boxing page. That's what's wrong with y'all now. Everybody want to do someone else's job when they aren't even good at their own." It looks as though Frank Martin might be the most likely opponent at this point, and many pros are putting their predictions in for the potential fight. Akin Reyes looked at Frank's most recent performances, and he questions if he's really ready for someone like Gervonta. Akin stated, "He has a lot of attention as he trains in that Derek James stable, and he's been calling out big names like Tank and Keyshawn Davis. So he ran into a guy who came to win, and he had a tough fight. He lost rounds in there, but I still think he was the more skilled fighter, the more dominant fighter overall. Punch Stats said that, ring generalship. He ran into trouble going into that fight late. It was a little questionable. People were talking about him with the big names. He wanted those fights. Is it safe to say that after that performance that we have to take a step back and say he needs a couple of big wins over B-class fighters before talking about Tank and those guys?" Naim De Jesus talked about the possible fight, and he didn't quite think that Frank Martin was ready for someone like Gervonta.
I don't think Frank Martin ready. Just like when I said Frank Martin wasn't ready for Shakur, that's a payday, yeah, but it's also a big jump in competition.
You want payday?
Yeah, that's a big jump in competition. You know what I mean? And I just don't think like skill level, like levels is. I don't think he's ready. But it's a good look for Tank if he's getting ready to fight. Oh, Frank Martin?
Frank and Tank, yeah.
But like money wise, I don't think that's really big, nothing crazy. No, but people might just pay to go see Tank. But it do give him some type of like I said, it's a good
undefeated guy, yeah. Southpaw. Tank gets criticism for never fighting black fighters.
Yeah, and he's slick. So that's what I'm saying. It's a good look for him to get ready for a Davies or Shakur. So he's a slick fighter. You get to see how he looking there with somebody slick, and he can shut up some naysayers. So it's kind of a good look, but then people might not give him credit because they're gonna say, well, Frank Martin is a 28-year-old prospect. You know what I mean?
Decision stoppage order.
I think it's a stoppage, yeah. I don't think it will go past 8 because I've seen Frank Martin in his was it his last fight? He fought. I mean, no discredit to him, but he fought some dude that really supposed to be fighting at 140. He fought him at 135.
Yeah,
they say he had like a lackluster performance.
Yeah.
But from what I seen, I just felt as though the dude power made him a little bit uncomfortable. And I seen certain things that I was like, nah, I think Tank is quick him.
Frank Martin believes that he's ready for the opportunities to get his belts though, and he stated, "I feel that because I feel I'm ready for the opportunity to get my belts. I want to get the belts. I've put in a lot of hard work, staying in the gym day in and day out. I'm ready for the opportunities to present themselves so I can show the world." Many people are calling for Gervonta to fight Shakur Stevenson, but Calvin Ford has shut those rumors down as he stated, "Why would I put Tank in a situation like that, where we can't do what we do? If Stevenson ain't standing there to at least try to put on a show or fight or whatnot, it's like, what is the point? Shakur's been fighting like that for a while, but it was worse because he was in there with a guy that can punch and can fight." Even when Isaac Cruz tried to call Gervonta out for a rematch, Gervonta seemingly just laughed at the idea.
"We want the rematch with Gervonta Davis. These fans have been great, and that's why, you know, they came out, and what I promised is a depth already, and we did it tonight."
Gervonta shakes his head. I wish we could bring him into the ring.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has been put under a microscope by some fighters, and they believe that he hasn't really fought any of the best fighters in his division. Terrence Crawford stated, "Hats off to Tank. He's a great, talented fighter, but he hasn't faced the top elite fighters in his division. We want to see Tank against somebody his size at the elite level. I believe he'll do good, but we haven't seen that yet." Teofimo Lopez blamed this for why a fight between himself and Gervonta never ended up happening, and he stated, "The reason why the Gervonta Davis fight won't happen is obviously they have their plan of what they're going to do with Tank. It works, good system. He doesn't have to go above the B level. He doesn't have to go below the B level. He stays right there." Paulie Malignaggi also saw this, and he thinks that things need to change so that the sport can thrive. Paulie stated, "You talk about Gervonta fighting B and C level fighters and avoiding the A level fighters. I agree. PBC and Mayweather Promotions have a plan for him being a star, beating B and C level fighters, and they're not going to fight you. I don't expect him to fight you, and I don't expect Devin Haney to fight you. They're on their plan. What I'm saying is they're on their plan, but it's not on the sport's plan. The sport as a whole has guys coming behind us that also need to make money. We need the sport to thrive to keep making money, but everybody else is just about themselves. I don't see these guys coming to see you to realistically make a fight." Tim Bradley thinks that Gervonta has to fight one of the top guys with some initiative if he's going to prove people wrong.
In the position that a lot of these guys are in, you know, I would love to see Tank face one of the top guys out there. Tank can sell out of the arena, no matter who he fight. He pick a cab driver up off the street, you know, and put him in the ring with Tank, and you know he'll beat him. He'll sell out the arena. You know, I just want to see how good Tank really is. You know, with another real one like himself. Can he handle that? Will we see it? I don't know. I don't know when we see it. It won't be anytime soon, I don't think. But I think eventually we will, depending on how things go with all these other guys. I mean, the contracts, you know, right now they don't have a home right now. You know what I mean? They're looking for a home. I mean, there's a lot of guys that, you know, Shakur's at the end of his contract soon, I believe. So you just never know where these guys end up. The fight for Tenson, the fight with Crawford and Spence didn't get made until Crawford, you know, was a free agent.
Last one.
And last thing I'm going to say on that is that if the fighter wants to make the fight happen, he has that power to do that, man. So I understand Tank is sitting back and he's sitting back in the cut and he's letting everybody make decisions for himself. But if he wants to prove that he's the best, he needs to fight one of these top guys.
Sergio Mora also thinks that Gervonta isn't fighting the best fighters that he could, and he stated, "Davis isn't fighting the best. In my opinion, Gervonta Davis, although a fantastic fighter, isn't battling the true warriors of the boxing world." Oscar De La Hoya thinks that Gervonta is something special, but he expects him to make some big moves in the division, and he stated, "He beat Ryan in a big event, a big PPV blockbuster, and I think Tank has to go after a world champion. I don't know if he's a world champion now, so maybe he has to unify. Maybe Tank should fight in a unification at lightweight. Yeah, a unification would be great, but obviously fighting the top dogs, the best of the best, and it's in him. Tank is a beast. He's an amazing fighter. I have no doubt he'll want to go in there against the very best." It looks as though Gervonta's next fight will be in the UK though, and Michael Benson posted, "Gervonta Davis' next fight is reportedly being planned for this summer in the UK." Another user gave a list of potential British fighters for Gervonta, and he stated, "Gervonta Davis' potential opponents for his fight in the UK, Joe Cordina, Lee Wood, Josh Warrington, Nick Ball, Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall. He could easily drag any of the first four up for a payday. What are your thoughts?" If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.